Hey everybody, what's going on? GoofyRhexxi here. Hope everybody is doing well. And we're going to be doing an updated video today and talking about the top characters for your Red Star promotions, your Silver promotion credits, your Gold promotion credits. Who should you be prioritizing on your roster here to get those Red Star, to do those Red Star promotions on? I did try to be as free to play friendly as possible, but there are some characters that I did throw in here that maybe they're not necessarily free to play friendly per se, but when it comes to Red Stars, if you are able to get lucky with them, you're definitely going to want to try to get some Red Stars on those characters because they definitely do scale very well by putting those Red Stars on them. So we're going to be going through this list here today. It's about, I think it's like 15 characters that we do have on this list. No particular order that I'm going to be going in here, but let's actually dive right on into the list. So that did not work. All right, so the first character on this list here for me is going to be Spider Weaver. Now, obviously, of course, if you got the Strike Pass 3, then you were able to get your 7-star Spider Weaver. Unfortunately, for anyone that's not in Strike Pass 2 or Strike Pass 1, you were not able to get those 4,000 shards, which I think is kind of trash. I'm still trying to work to see if there's a way that they can make that change. We'll have to see what happens over the next couple of days here. But I think Spider Weaver definitely is a character that you'd want to put your Red Stars on. I mean, she's insane in Cosmic Crucible, but so useful in a lot of other game modes as well, right? Like Alliance War, I use her every single day. Every single time when I do Alliance War, she's great. Even like in Tower right now, I've been finding some pretty good use for her. She's a Dark Dimension recommended character. You're obviously also going to need her for Apocalypse as well. She's in Arena. So sensational character that does a lot of damage here and scales very well from a health perspective, from a damage perspective by putting Red Stars on her, especially when she also gets that offense up. It's definitely insane, especially her basic. I love using her basic to delete and delete characters, you know, in Arena or whatever game when I choose to use her in. So Spider Weaver to me definitely is a character that is worth putting your Red Star or using your Red Star promotions on because she does scale very well. I even use her in Alliance, in the raids, in the raid content right now for Doom raids. I use her as a part of my Mystic team alongside the Eternals, Morgan, and Deathpool here, and she works very well there and helps out quite a bit in those nodes. So yeah, definitely would put Red Stars on her. Now, next character on this list here for me is going to be Omega Red. I mean, the Weapon X team in general, if you don't really care about Alliance War, then the Weapon X team probably is not something that you really care about that much. But individually, Omega Red is just such a dynamic force. I mean, in Cosmic Crucible, he's an all-star for me in Cosmic Crucible. I can plug and play him into a lot of these there's like multiple different comps that I use Omega Red in Cosmic Crucible. Obviously in Alliance War, he's dominant there. He used to be a recommended option for Dark Dimension 5, but because of like Rogue and Archangel now, probably not the best option anymore. But you're definitely still going to get a lot of value here from Omega Red. He is a plug and play character that you can use. So I definitely think just based on the stats, based on the damage, also, you know, the higher Red Stars that you have on him, the better off that you're able to kind of land things like your ability block as well. So I think for me personally, like Omega Red definitely scales very well with Red Stars, and it's a character that I would definitely consider using your Red Star promotions on. All right, next character for me here is a character that I love in this game. I mean, Shang-Chi, man, just coming. Man, I mean, the Red Stars alone, I mean, I've promoted him to 7 Red Stars. I, by the way, probably don't recommend promoting a lot of characters to 7 Reds, but you know, there are some characters that I just love a lot, and I typically tend to just use, I promote them to 7 Reds, right? And Shang-Chi was definitely one of those characters, and mainly because of this ultimate ability, right? I mean, 450% damage plus then 75% per additional positive effect from the primary target. I mean, it's just insane the amount of damage that he does right now in these Doom raids. It's like the higher the Red Stars on him, that damage is going to scale so much. It's a low cooldown too, so you're going to be able to get this back quite frequently, especially also whenever he has a deflex on him too, then he can crit. Or has a higher chance to crit with that Radar ISO on him. It's really good damage that you're gonna be able to get from Shang-Chi. I think he's probably also one of the best plug and play characters in Marvel Strike Force as well. There's a lot of different variety comps that you can throw him with. Obviously, the main one that you'll see him with, of course, is a Secret Avenger Kestrel team, obviously on defense with the Heroes for Hire team. But I use him as a plug and play character in Cosmic Crucible a lot as well. Sometimes I throw him with Young Avengers. Sometimes he's back with Secret Avengers Kestrel. Sometimes I throw him on defense with like Dormammu. Like there's a couple different ways to use Shang-Chi, but which regardless of whatever you do with him, you're definitely going to get a solid ton of value from getting red stars or promoting red stars on Shang-Chi. He's also a free-to-play character as well, right? So you can get him from that Blitz store. So good value there. Next character on this list for me is going to be Hulk. This may be more of a niche thing for some players. I do value Alliance War a little bit, not a crazy amount, but I do value Alliance War a little bit here. And I found that once I was able to start putting like my six red stars on Hulk, I found that mirror match against the Gamma team has gone significantly better. And Hulk, for me, just the higher the red stars on him, then of course the higher the health pool, but then also the higher the damage too, because when he does go below that 50%, he gains that offense up. And with his leap ability, this does a lot more damage when you have that offense up on him. And so for me, I like the higher red stars. The higher red stars also gives him higher health pool. It makes it so that, of course, it takes him a little bit, he survives a little bit longer. And you may ask the question, well, does that negate him falling below 50% health and not being able to get the offense up? It actually doesn't at all. He still drops below 50% quite a bit because he has taunt so often that therefore he typically tends to drop below 50% frequently enough to where I am able to get the offense up. So the red stars actually don't really negatively impact him. It actually just helps to boost what he's able to do moving forward. So for me personally, I definitely think Hulk is a good character for red stars, and I would definitely, he would, from a free-to-play perspective, free-to-play character, I definitely would prioritize Hulk for red stars. A lot of value that you can get even from like the early game content as well, using Red Hulk with like a Wave 1 Avengers team. All right, next on this list, still on this list, is Captain America Sam. So I think when it was still, because of the skill doom raids, I'm still using the Secret Avenger team right now. And Captain America Sam is really a character that kind of makes that team go. The higher the red stars on him, then the more tanky he becomes. It makes it harder for him to be mowed down, especially with the deflects and all that as well. The defense up, things like that. It takes him a little bit longer too. So it survives a little bit longer for me. So, and then also because of in the doom raids where you're using them with Sharon Carter, he's getting the offense up. So like that ultimate ability, a lot of the times typically tends to delete a lot of characters or gets them very low. So I like having the higher red stars on Captain America Sam. And from a free-to-play perspective, a very accessible character. Yes, it is a little bit further along for some earlier plays because I think you have to get to level 75 before you can do Doom Chapter 2 campaign to be able to actually farm him down. But once you do get him, he scales very, very well with red stars. And I'm hoping that even if they do come out with a new skill team, that there's still going to be a place for Captain America Sam, because I really do like a lot of the value that you're able to get from him. So yeah, definitely a character that I will prioritize red stars on as well. All right, next on this list here, we're actually going to talk about the Eternals characters. Well, that's hella, but we're going to talk about some of the Eternal characters too here. So we're going to group both Cersei and Icarus together. Although I will be honest with you, like Icarus I'm reluctant to talk about Icarus because he is a premium orb exclusive character, very unlikely to be able to get a lot. Like I opened up 50 orbs yesterday to try to get the remaining 13 shards that I need to be able to get Icarus to 7 stars. And I only got him to drop once, right? So it's very hard to be able to get shards for Icarus, but still, this Eternals team is still a very strong combo in Marvel Strike Force, and use them every day in Arena. Use them every day, and for there's pretty much something that you can use them for every single day, whether it's Cosmic Crucible, Alliance War, there's Dark Dimension that you can use them for as well. There's raids, there's Arena. There's something that you're using the Eternals team for every single day. So they provide you with a ton of value. The higher the red stars, the more damage they're able to do, the more that they're able to survive, the more benefit that you're able to get from these two characters. Cersei now being farmable, I think, makes it a little bit easier for you to be able to get yellow stars on her, and then also be able to get red stars on her too. So yeah, man, I mean, well, she's a good character, right? So, and they're a good combo. I know a lot of people want there to be more Eternals, but they're so bonkers together just themselves. They're insane together by themselves, right? Like where it's like, okay, do you really want to have additional Eternals characters? Maybe that may make them way too OP to be able to, from that perspective. But yes, definitely love Cersei, definitely love Icarus. If you can get the yellow stars on them, then using your Go promotion credits on them also will provide you some good value. Next on this list here is Hela. While, you know, it's kind of hard to pull the trigger and bring her up to G16, your boy would love to be able to do that, but I can't do it right now. However, because she is a arena character and with her rework right now, you know, insane amount of value right now with Hela. I'm actually considering throwing 7 reds on her just because I do love the character so much. Once again, 7 red stars are typically recommended for any character. 7 red stars is usually like a passion thing that you want to do. So because I love Hela so much, I might just throw the 7 red stars on her just for funsies. But especially considering that realistically, when am I going to be able to get any new character to 7 red stars within time for it to even ever make sense? So you're typically stuck putting your 7 red promotions on older characters, right? That get reworked. So for me, I love Hela though. She's an arena character. Her damage scales very well. A lot of her kit is really strong too, like basic. You know, you can she flips death proof. She can ping with an additional attack here. This, you're getting the disrupt and the bleed from it, low cooldown as well. It's kind of a slow character though. Ultimate, this one, if you kill any character, you prevent them from reviving once. I love using this ultimate, especially in arena with the combination of a couple other characters there. A ton of value that you're going to get from Hela right now. She's also very good in Cosmic Crucible, obviously very good in Alliance War. Haven't tried her in the Doom raids as of yet, so I'm not entirely sure how well she can perform there. But in terms of like the other areas where I use her an insane amount of value, and the higher the red stars that you have on her, the better she's definitely going to be able to perform. All right, next on this list, we already talked about Icarus. So next, I'm going to talk about Gambit. Once again, I mean, I did pull 7 reds for him, so I'm definitely excited to be able to kind of continue to build that out. But the reason why I have Gambit on this list here is because I do value Cosmic Crucible a lot. I think it's one of the most important game modes, probably the second most important game mode. At times can feel like even the most important game mode in Marvel Strike Force. So I like a character that is in Cosmic Crucible. I am going to put a high value on from a red star perspective. And looking at Gambit, the out of turn damage that you get from him, especially when he's paired with Rogue, that extra 25% damage boost, he does an insane amount of damage. And he's a character that can be sneaky good in Dark Dimension too. Like I'm using him right now, or in Dark Dimension. I've used him in Dark Dimension before, and he's provided me with a ton of value with the out of turn damage. Now, of course, he scales higher when you also do have Rogue with him, but the higher the red stars, the more damage you're going to get from him there. And also his ultimate ability does a stupid amount of damage with the ultimate here. It does take a while for him to be able to get to it. It's 520% damage, and if he does have 3 or more, then you get the disrupt too as well. And Cosmic Crucible is also flipping negative effects. And I like the biggest thing that I love about this is that it's unavoidable and cannot be blocked, so I don't really have to worry about, you know, if a character has evade or something like that on them. So for me, like, Gambit does a lot. He's a big damage dealing character. Does a lot more damage, of course, when Rogue is there, but the higher the red stars, the more damage you get from him. And the on turn damage, like it's huge. It's massive, guys, in whatever game mode or content that you're doing. All right, next on this list here is Iron Man, raid character here on that Bionic Avenger team. Just an insane amount of damage that you can get from Iron Man. I finally pulled the trigger and put the T4 here on his special ability, and I definitely say it's well worth it. Once again, low enough cooldown, but this 300% damage to all enemies. I mean, the 300% damage doesn't look like a lot, but in raids, it does a lot of damage, especially when he has that offense up from Deathlock. And of course, if he crits as well, then it's just crazy. It's also unavoidable. So I love Iron Man. He's still top 10 in damage in terms of just like raw stats, I think, in Marvel Strike Force. So there's a lot of good stuff that you can get from him here, especially when you have that Raider ISO on him and he crits. To the value that you're getting from him there as well. Next on this list here for me is Squirrel Girl. One of my favorite characters just in the entire Marvel universe, period, right? So not even just like from a game perspective, but definitely one of my favorite characters in the game. I think that I wouldn't probably bring her past maybe 6 red stars, or you could probably say leave her at 5 red stars. But you know, being that I think she's a pretty good plug and play character, can be used in CC, can be used even for some of these game modes right now that we're like Avengers Tower that we're doing right now. Like her and the Young Avengers team are providing a ton of value. But the higher the red stars that you have on her, then the higher that the more that she survives. But then also this special ability here, when she does this and heals for 15% of this character's max health, the more healing that you're gonna get, right, by having higher red stars and having a higher health pool on her. She has a pretty decent high health pool already anyways, and she does do some sneaky, interesting, good damage at times too, which can definitely help to kind of kill some additional characters. Because I think with like her basic, or is it a basic or her ultimate, like one of these abilities here, she does like an additional attack. Can't find it right now because obviously I'm doing a video. I'm looking at all these different things, but there's some extra little damage that she does as well, and I think provides a lot of value. The offense down here with her ult can also do some pretty good stuff, especially also applying the heal block. But mainly it's that health pool. It's being able to get some more for her to be able to survive more, but then also as well for her to also provide a little bit more healing to your team. I found that with using her in Dark Dimension was probably one of the reasons why I was able to clear through the city content as quickly as I was able to. All right, next on this list here for me is Black Panther. Once again, Cosmic Crucible character. I have been looking to get this man to 6 red stars, but I cannot. He will not show up in my store, but I definitely would love to be able to get him there. His damage output is massive in Cosmic Crucible. I also love using him in the Gamma Raids too. That was a lot of fun using the full Wakandan team in the Gamma Raids, where he's able to. I mean, basically, once he takes a turn, it's a wrap, right? Like between him and the Okoye, the fact that he just keeps on killing and getting turn meter, it's pretty sexy to watch, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, I mean, love using Black Panther. The higher the red stars, once again, the more damage he does. This ultimate, when he has a bunch of charges on, I mean, you're just it's really stupid, right? 280% damage. Yeah, 280% damage. He's chaining. You're getting some additional piercing damage here. 40% damage per charge. I mean, you're just getting an insane amount of damage output from him. Like the damage that you're seeing here, you don't really understand how much it does until you're actually doing it in Cosmic Crucible. And like I said, even in the other game modes too, like even for Scourge, there was a ton of value using Black Panther as well. And the higher the red stars, I can definitely see where that damage is going to scale. All right, next for me, here's a newer character that just got a recent rework here. And when I say newer character, I mean new rework character here. Captain America, man, probably, you know, maybe the best tank in the game, maybe one of the best tanks in the game right now, just based on the rework and the fact that he has like the super high block chance, super high block amount, higher block amount, I think, in raids. The fact that like his special can give that defense up, can grant a lot of ability energy. It's a low cooldown. He's one of the faster tanks in Marvel Strike Force. The Fortifier ISO on him makes him a lot more tankier. That block chance makes him, he's just a really good character from like a free to play perspective. When I'm looking at it, I'm like, having higher red stars on him is definitely going to be good. I still have not put all the T4s yet into my Rebirth team. I'm kind of waiting to get US Agent, get Captain Carter, get Agent Venom, and then I'll kind of work out what T4s I want to throw into them. But definitely think that Fortifier is the best ISO, but in the higher red stars that you have on Captain America as well, the more that he's able to survive. I think he's actually even a Dark Dimension 5 recommended character as well, just because of, I think, the combination between Cap and maybe even Captain Sam, and then using Nemesis to like kind of feed ability energy to Nemesis, and then Nemesis can do the health steals. I think that, you know, that could be kind of like a sneaky, really, really good comp that you could use here for your global section of your Dark Dimension 5 run. All right, next on this list here is Hulkbuster. This team does just not survive as well without Hulkbuster. The higher the red stars on him too, the higher that barrier is going to matter, or the more barrier that you're going to be able to get from him, because the barrier is based on 15% of his max health. And then the higher the red stars that you have on him, the higher that he can tank and then survive when he's tanking as well. He's just such an important character that you need for your Bionic Avengers team. Literally, they do not do well without Hulkbuster at all. He's such a key cog to the team, and in a lot of ways, I probably think maybe the most important character on the Bionic Avengers team, just because if you can't survive, you can't stick around long enough to be able to do damage. So, and for that reason, I think Hulkbuster definitely deserves to be on this list. Next here is Dark Beast. he just does so much for the team, but mainly the reason why I have him here as a higher Red Star promotion character. But of course, you can see I only got him at 4 and 4. I mean, I barely got him at 4 Red Stars. Seriously, the only reason why I have him on this list is because of the clones, right? I'm still working on some T4s for this team too, but the clones here, you want. They're scale based on his stats. So the higher the Red Stars and the better off your clones are going to be. So that's the reason why I have him on this list here. But also there's a lot of other things that he does too. You know, you want him to be able to land the ability block. You want him to be able to land those bleeds. So the higher the Red Stars, and of course, the better, you know, focus he's going to be able to have to do those things at the higher raid levels. Although in like 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, players are still having a lot of success here with Dart Beast, even at low Red Star. So that, you know, maybe you don't need it, but definitely it will make him better, in my opinion. And then that's pretty much it, guys, in terms of the Red Stars and the characters that I would recommend for your Red Star promotion credits here. What are your thoughts? Like, what are you thinking? You know, who did I probably leave off of this list? Who would you probably say, hey, Goofy, maybe he doesn't need Red Stars? I want to hear what you guys have to say as well, guys. But appreciate you watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel here. Hit that notification bell so that you know when the videos do go live. And until next time, guys, I'll be blessed. I'll be safe.